whatever our temperaments are. If we're, I know for myself, I gave birth to a child who is way more of a no guy than I am. I was way more of a yes person by nature. And so how the world responds to us starts to like create our characters and our conditioning. So by forming our yeses and nos, we're laying the groundwork for our life. We're shaping the flow, and we're staking our claim, and we're also making sacrifice. When you say no to something, you're making a sacrifice to the yes. When you say yes to something, you're making a sacrifice to the no. So it's a very powerful and potent moment. And sometimes it's simple, like coffee or tea, or on the rocks or straight. Like these are not necessarily the life-changing decisions, but other times, they're absolutely the crossroads. And so they're very simple words, but profound influences. And so today I'm going to invite us to explore and delve into those sensations, the sensation of no and the sensation of yes in the body. So what I'm offering today, it's not a method, a surefire method of how to make the right choices in your life or anything like that. It's just an experience of play and a reattunement to your own embodied response, and cultivating an embodied response and listening in. At this point, it's really important just for me to note, and for us all to note, any part of ourselves that has ever been disrupted or lost connection to our body's innate sense of yes or no. Sometimes we lose this connection because we're trying so hard to be pleasing, like, oh, it wasn't good, mom didn't like it when I said no, and if mom doesn't like me, I'm, for lack of a better expression, screwed. I need mom, I need dad. So we sometimes we get these conditionings where we start to, like, oh, it's not your innate yes or no is sort of conditioned, and we lose a connection to our own embodied sense of what is our yes and our no. And sometimes we're so deeply conditioned that we go against our inner feeling, but sometimes we also go to the other extreme, and we're so rebellious against the conditioning that we'll be rebellious for rebellion's sake. And we're in that way, maybe overindulging and losing a sense and connection into what is right and what is true if we stop and take a breath. And then also, unfortunately, sometimes we experience trauma and it becomes unbearable to be in the body. We leave. We're like, I'm out of here. I can't deal with this. And that it makes it really hard to trust and come back into the body. So I just want to speak to that and honor that, and also say that when we've gone through either conditionings or trauma, it's really important that we enter the body or enter an experience of embodiment with extreme patience and gentleness. This is a time, like when we're coming back into our bodies and we're being invited back into our bodies or inviting ourselves back into our bodies, we need nurturing, we need love, we need space. We need space to release whatever the fears or traumas or conditioning, that story. We need that. And by doing that, then we can begin to reestablish a connection to our own inner yes and our own inner no. But so I put that out there today just to invite, to honor that part of ourselves, and to be and to state my belief that with patience, with devotion, with care for our own self-development, we will inevitably grow towards the sun like plants. We'll grow towards a life affirmation when we're given that space of love and containment and respect for our stories. So today's art is a playful exercise that can be kind of seen as a starting point for some folks who are just beginning the process of reconnecting. It's a gentle way of reconnecting to our own bodies' feelings. So I invite you always to participate to your level of comfort. I invite you to follow my lead. I thank you for your openness to playfulness, and I respect your yeses and your nos along the way. So, and that kind of uh, space is the kind of space where we heal. We heal inside of a space where we get to feel empowered and to. So I'm opening that and claiming that for myself, and inviting you to open and claim that for yourself. So also I want to say, like, embodiment, this sense of like, do you trust your heart? Do you trust your body? Do you trust your intuition? These are all like very in some places people would say, well, that's kind of a woo woo approach, or a highly emotional approach to problem solving. And I honor that as well. I honor that, we, when we're making big decisions, there are other aspects that we can examine in order to make informed choices. So I'm just going to like review some and pay homage to that part of integration of the logical mind or the thinking mind. And is that whenever we make a big decision, we could follow some simple steps. We can look objectively at our alternatives. Like, what are the alternatives to the decision that I'm trying to make here? And then we can research those options. Like, well, if I do this, then this. If I do this, then this. And so and so says this, and spending that time to do the research. And then we can apply common sense. Like, that, oh yeah, that actually, that even though so and so said this and such, it actually doesn't make sense. So, but then we can also then do the old list of the pros and cons and get a sense of weighing things out that way. But then number five, like, or the next step, this is what I'm calling it's giving a list. Number five is this realm of intuition, using your gut response, checking in with your heart, checking in with your emotions. Um, this is, in this decision making process, if you're just applying logic, if you're just applying like research, if you're just applying all these things, you're missing part of the boat. And our culture is like, doesn't always super respect the part of the boat which is of spirit and mind and body. So I'm calling us home back to that place. I'm calling us home back to the place that is, integrates all logic mind, integrates all science, integrates all research, but then goes back and integrates the tool of the body, the sacred tool of the body, the sacred, like, senses that we've been gifted with, and even in our higher senses. So this is the playground for us, is like this intuition, response, and emotions for today. And after you go all through those steps, come to a conclusion. And then if you're really not sure from that point, I suggest sleeping on it and letting that subconscious mind also inform you a little bit. So given that today our playground is this realm of body, realm of emotions, realm of heart, realm of intuition, um, I want us to begin by reinvigorating the embodiment that Robyn brought us into. So now is a good time to start to bring your paper, start to have your paper in front of you, your markers out. I will invite you to when it's a good time to actually start the process with them, but having things on hand, so like we can stay in this inward gaze, in this internal process, and not be like, oh, I got to go across the room and get my markers, or I need to get, so the fumbling around can be to a minimum, and our inner work can, we can sort of be settled down as possible. So beginning to follow the breath, inviting you to follow your breath, settling down. Beginning to notice your body. And then I invite you to stretch your toes, or spread them out wide and relax them. Maybe you want to tense your legs and relax them. Maybe tense your whole body and relax. Just do this warming up of the body. You may even want to move your shoulders. Find your way. Find your movement, your embodiment, the way that you feel internal. So if you are looking towards me, I invite you to not. I invite you to bring your gaze inward. It's an inside job. Embodiment is an inside job. So either your eyes are closed or they're gently cast downward, but you're really feeling, what does it feel like when I tense my toes? What does it feel like when I let that sensation go? Just allow yourself to play with this tension and release. So the spine is like the central axis for communication. And so feel your consciousness and awareness going to the spine, and maybe you want to straighten it up a little bit. Maybe you want to even pretend like someone's pulling on the top of your head, and you're getting this like sensation of being alert, being alert in an interoceptive way, in a way that you're turned inward, but with awareness, a relaxed awareness. Sometimes the spine will benefit by a gentle spinal twist. You can follow your gaze one way or the other and just slowly noticing. And you can do that a few times. How I'm noticing Deborah's moving her head up and down. That's great, because actually, we're going to tune into that, like, sort of, at least, in our culture, this is yes. So feeling that sensation of moving your head and even beginning to tune into like how we've all used this nonverbal yes. Noticing how it feels and waking up that part, that memory of how many times you've done this in your life to communicate the affirmative. And then maybe also trying out the no. Noticing how it feels, noticing the sensation. So now with our embodied sense being brought in and our gaze inward, I invite you to take one of your pieces of paper and choose whatever markers you like, but one for the left hand and one for the right hand. And in this process, it's a 2-minute warm up. And what we're going to do is just allow your hands to fill that page however you like. Moving left hand, right hand, moving left hand, right hand. Maybe you're going to fill the whole page. Maybe the hands are going to follow each other. Maybe they're going to go different ways. But we're moving both hands at the same time with no sort of, we don't have any desired outcome other than just staying embodied, staying in the flow, feeling this movement left and right. And notice Robyn's got a good rock going on. You can bring your whole body into it. This is lighting up the left and right hemispheres of the brain. This is the playground. Remember, playground. No right, no wrong. We're just playing. And we're going to do this for about 2 minutes. And just allow yourself to fill in. And if you feel like switching colors, switch colors. If you like that color, stick with that color. No right or no wrong, just movement and just playfully waking up. I'm just going to play us a little song while we do that because music's always great for. You can experiment with going fast, experiment with going slow. Again, no right, no wrong. You can experiment watching what you're doing. You can experience closing your eyes. Following your impulses to move left or right, up or down, sharp lines, curvy lines, whatever. Recognizing all the little subtle choices. Okay, so moving that beautiful expression of your life force to the side, bring another piece of paper in front of you. And stay tuned into your inner embodied sense and begin to bring in, and you can do this also by moving your head in the agreed upon expression of no. Bring in your no. Bring in no. Really spend some time before you even get to the paper or the markers or anything. Feel in your body. Notice in your body, do you feel, or what do you feel when you express no? Uh, I was chatting with my mom a little bit last night about, that I was going to do this, and I asked her, and she's like, I immediately feel a tension in my stomach. So notice when you feel no, when you express no, do you feel it? Some people stomp their feet. Some people put a hand out. Some people feel a sense of trepidation. Some people feel really empowered and strong in the body. Some people feel it in the heart. Some people feel it like a very heady feeling. Notice your feeling. No. No. Just begin the no mantra. And when you're ready, look to your colors and express your no however you want on a piece of paper. For some people, it may be words. For some people, it may be, again, just that flowy kind of feeling drawing. For some people, it may be a distinct image. There's no right, there's no wrong. We're on the playground. You get to do whatever you want. You get to express your no. So again, we'll do this for like maybe looking at our time, we've got like, let's do like 4 or 5 minutes of no. And in that process, stay if in touch with any feeling, any sensation, any memory that comes up. Just chanting no, 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 no. So just taking about 30 more seconds, putting on your final touch. Or if you're complete, feeling free to be complete. And then putting your markers down and a deep cleansing breath, and also invite in a beautiful wind, gentle wind to just sweep that no, clear out. You're entering the beautiful realm of neutral. You're in neutral now. Okay, just this space in between. So allowing that gentle air to come through and remove any of the felt sensations, the lingering sensations or memories or experience of no. And bringing another piece of paper into your field and preparing yourself, keeping again, reminding yourself to keep your gaze inward. Beginning also still, let's reconnect to the breath. Noticing the way that if you invited in a gentle breeze to come through, like just imagine that now you're breathing in this really fresh oxygenated breeze in through the nose, across the nasal passage, just noticing the sensation, how it gets warmed when it comes into your lungs, and then when you exhale, it's warmer than when it went in, depending on where you're living. But for most of us, it's cooler out, so knowing that this neutral space is really lovely and important, and it's also a valuable time to begin to reconnect, to explore a new feeling on the playground. And we know this one because we've done it for such, I mean, let's think about, oh my gosh, what was the first time when we as babies went like, yes, and we were like, and they were like, she's saying yes, or he's saying yes, or they're saying yes. Like feeling that yes, feeling that yes, feeling that yes, feeling yes in your body. How does it feel? How does it feel? What does it look like? What is it? What happens in your body? What happens in your mind eye? What happens for you? Spending some time just mantraing yes into your cells, into your body, into your spirit, into your mind, into your all parts of you. And when you're ready with your yes, and you feel you've noticed it, and you feel like you're ready, and you're affirmatively wanting to ride that yes to choose some color, go ahead and choose your color or colors. Choose your way of expressing for the next 4 minutes your yes. Maybe words, maybe images, maybe flow. Yes, yes, yes. So just one more minute. And just noticing and reflecting on your yes. So beginning to put your final touches on your yes. As in our therapy, one of the most awesome aspects of it is processing. Um, in our life today, we don't have in this session today. We're not going to have the luxury of being able to hear every person, but if we did, we could begin to look at all the images together and find the ways that our languages are maybe the similar or maybe dissimilar, and we could hear each other's stories, and this would be profoundly interesting and profoundly moving and profoundly bonding for us as a community to really get to know each other. um, so in the interest of a condensed version of that, I'm going to invite Robyn to have you go into breakout rooms, and it's really like I'm going to say 4 minutes, and make sure that in your group that you everyone get a chance to share their yes and their no and any relevant story that they want to tell, as long as everybody gets a chance. So you're going to have to be cautious, aware of time together. So we'll come back on at and then we'll unfortunately be doing a quick goodbye because both Robyn and I have 10 o'clock clients coming. Um, so let's do this. Let's get right into these breakout rooms. Let's have you have an opportunity to share and talk and to your level of comfort, and then we'll come back on and we'll get a quick closure together.
If you're not able to do breakout rooms, which sometimes people aren't, don't worry, just don't go, and I'll work it out. And if you end up yourself, just come on back and we'll chat in the main room. And if you don't want to go to the breakout room, just stay in the main room.
Them making a mark.
Mm.
And then my yeses were in sync. I made them be in sync, and like I drew hearts and stuff. So it felt very like collaborative.
Nice. Thank you. Interesting. It's all like how we interpret it, right? It's like, yeah, it's great. Good. Let's hear from Gail. Just unmute yourself and welcome.
Hi. I mostly want to comment that I walked into doing this in a crappy mood, in a really crappy mood this morning. And I feel like I'm in a different space completely. So I just want to thank you and thank Julie, who is the reason I showed up this morning. Sort of showed up. I kind of didn't really show up at the beginning. But anyway, my no became strength and my yes was just how I like to live my life. Yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Gail. Beautiful. I don't know if you were on in the very beginning. We do a check-in scale of 1 to 10, and I asked people like check in again at the end and notice how you're feeling.
Unbelievable difference.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I was a 5 at the beginning.
You were 5. Yeah, I saw that. Right. Oh,
so like I said, like if we were in like a regular art therapy experience, the process would be longer. But what I would leave you with is to and Emily, if you don't mind, I'll just going to go back to your crumpled piece of paper, and I would invite you to examine the feelings and thoughts around that, to as much as you can. And if it's uncomfortable to do it alone, find a good friend, find someone that you trust, and talk about what it felt like, and what it felt like to crumple that paper, and what's the story behind there. Because whereas Gail's no, where her landed at was a sense of strength, sometimes our no is like, it only feels aggravating, or it only feels, something, so that's our body talking to us, and that's our way that we begin to find our ways to where our no's are like setting strong and good boundaries and are involved with self-care, and our yeses we're experiencing that as well, like where our yes is something expansive and supportive to ourselves. So thank you so much, everybody. This was really awesome. It's so great to see all your faces.
yeah, this is beautiful, Amriti. Thank you so much. This was powerful. I learned a lot. I didn't go to a breakout room, but I've got some stuff to share.
Well,
yeah, really. It was
yeah,
beautiful. It's
yeah,
powerful.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing members of your community. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Yeah.
And come back next week. We have community gathering. It's election day, and I feel we have to gather on election day. I mean, we're meeting anyway, because we meet every Tuesday at 9 a.m. But there'll be lots of time to connect and share and go deep together. So I look forward to seeing all of you there next week. And I'll send Julie's information out later, and just sending you lots of love for a beautiful embodied day. I feel so much more connected to myself. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Nice to see you, Julie.
Yeah, you too, Gail.
Miss you.
Miss you too.
Thank you.
Love your comment, Lynn. Lots of love. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.